Welcome back. I came across this, so I'm gonna go ahead and react to it. I don't know much of what's happening. I watched enough where I'm like, I gotta play this. I got other things to talk about. I definitely would like to talk about something I was pointed to in the comments section over here, which definitely is present and is cool, but and also things over here. I'm still looking over here in the glaciation. I've been watching a bunch of Randall Carlson Cosmographia episodes and coming across evidence that he brings up, and seeing more things to respond to and point out in here. But let's play this. This is Kilauea is just started erupting at this crater 3 hours ago. This is a live stream 3 hours ago. So let's speed it up until it starts erupting. I don't want to miss any frames. Whoa, that was crazy. Whoa, boom. It just, like the whole screen lit up. Where are we at? It's like a bomb went off. Okay, back to normal speed. Interesting, it has a main, like, jet this way and then protruding jets off the side in a kind of triple structure like shallograms tend to have. Just noticing. And then two. Oh. What's about to happen is so cool. Holy crap. What an eruption. To be able to just watch this process. Interesting, it's making like a star pattern. Hard to say over there, maybe one there, one there, one there, one there, one there, one maybe there. Now it's flowing out and filling the star pattern's boundaries at like straight lines, like a hexagon. So it erupted, created, stretched out the boundary, and then it filled the space between to really stretch out the boundary in not a circular but a hexagonal way. Now it's flooding out in these waves, but dependent on those angles to a degree. Looking a lot like Gurnar in some ways, with the fans around it. Now it's more in a slit. Trying to think what that reminds me of. Somewhere I came across like a slit down the middle. Reaching out, becoming less like continuous and more lobe-like maybe, to extend and then fill out between the lobes again, possibly. Not sure. Let's see. flowing this way. It's got a boundary here, forming a second boundary here. They're kind of merging now. Oh, fading in and out. Still flowing this way, creeping this way. And going this way. Like especially there. And off of this, it's going out this way, reaching over here. Whoa. Whoa, that was way back there. It's almost like it built up so much pressure here that it erupted at a secondary spot now. That's perpendicular to this. Interesting, it's erupting and going back in, like around this chakra maybe, like chakras here across, and then erupting across and back in. Still got a boundary here, and then another boundary, another boundary. So it's like forming segments. And then it's extending over here. Forming sort of an ammonite type structure. Really protruding over here. And not so much on the other side of this, I guess. We can't see that side as well, but it looks like not so much. Maybe these are behaving as counterparts, like positive, negative, big, small. Maybe like a third eruption that's even smaller in terms of the coverage of it erupts at some point. Still got a boundary, forming a second boundary out here with it, where it extends beyond. Whoa, that was a big one. Now, nope, still over here. I thought it was someone went between them. Now it's going more that way. That like fell right over along that line. That eruption really starting to form sharper points. Ring type structure here. Boundary. Definitely doing like a rolling thing along the edge. I don't know at what point it starts to change materially, but it's going to do some interesting things. I should maybe just speed it up again. Let's just speed it up again. 2 times speed. Erupting, really rolling. Creating like a channel there. There maybe. Extending this boundary out slowly, but kind of holding it though. Like it's not just rolling along, it's kind of rolling in place, maybe extending a little bit. Waves from back here pushing into it, which maybe at some point are going to push the boundary forward. Interesting, they moved the camera. Thanks, guys. Rippling out in these ways. Flowing over here, spreading out, fanning out pretty much. In this, between this line from this center point, and then I guess maybe like an outer boundary that looks to be forming like here. Still filling. Now it's erupting over here and like around this maybe. Still rolling there. Got another boundary back there, flowing out here, flowing out over here. Just seeing it, what kind of like processes we can observe in real time that would point to how things formed geologically in other places, how things work. Flow going over here, still filling this like chamber, like a reminiscent of something. This over here, this filling and then forming a chamber off to the side because it needed to vent the pressures of all the material flowing out. Rolling, rolling, rolling. Got this little, like, stationary spot, like a mound that it's going around. Interestingly, this stationary spot is in line with where this is rolling, maybe related to it. And then the top of it kind of marks a boundary for like a line across here as well. I just wonder if if this moves, if that will influence the structure. Still flowing over there, still flowing, just extending, extending, still erupting back there. It did the same where it vented out over there and over here into these sections. There's a third one formed between them at maybe a 90-degree relative angle to each or something. Maybe not, but maybe at some specific angle. That's like a fraction and not some like irrational number or something. Just a fraction of 360. Like 120, 60, 90, one of those, 45. I'd say 60, 90 though. Still holding that boundary. Looks like there's other places holding boundaries along it. Reminiscent of the like spikes in an ammonite shell. Spikes. Like these things. Current's still flowing out, flowing out, flowing out, flowing out, filling the space, filling the space, filling the space. Maybe we can jump ahead. Let's jump ahead a little bit. Notice this is forming a straight line. Flow going along the outer boundary here. Got this little thing here too, maybe holding this boundary, like a region that it just can't influence as easily. Still got this boundary, just rolling. Which to me would create a layering that would make a more solid structure, like a fossilization process. Coming out here. Okay, let's jump ahead, maybe that far. Okay, it's got some kind of thing now there. Now the structure looks like it got a little messed up. It's still got these little, like, indentations repetitively along it, like an ammonite does. Let's jump ahead. Now it's got this center over here that looks like it's got some eruption there. Maybe another eruption spot opening up there. Flow going out over here. Over there, just going out, filling this whole space. Starting to wrap around here though, around this spot. Which is maybe like a yin-yang. Like maybe it erupted here previously and it's more solidly formed, like a nucleus, that then this eruption avoided, as well as now is going around and not actually flowing atop. Relatively, because it's still like got flows coming out of it. It looks like it's even erupting itself. This spot. Somewhere I saw. Let's keep going. Flow this way, this way, this way. Looks like it kind of filled the pressure over here. Like it's not flowing over here as much. Now it's starting to flow more here in a circle, maybe. With eruption points here, so holding a boundary along this, like going all the way around. Holding pressure, at least, so current goes like that. Whoa, it just erupted. Whoa. Almost like it's trying to short circuit this route and cut across here and create this circle. And it actually fractured the surface enough to do it. Now it's cutting across further, creating a swirl, and then maybe it'll go that way. This way. It looked like it just lit up there a little bit, like a burst of energy went through there. It even looks like it's swirling if we see it going this way, with definitely some more motion now. Still pretty full over here, like it's just building more and more pressure. Definitely see this starting to flow around this. Wow, just venting there now. I guess build up pressure until it ruptured the surface. Now it's just like erupting. Going this way, out here. This is just filling pressure. Maybe this will erupt at some point because it's building pressure with currents flowing into it, similar to over here. It's going up this way over here, so not so much across. It made a channel over here. This is flowing out here, holding a boundary. So this goes up generally to that boundary and turns, like here probably. Really feeling pressure over here. So like maybe this is the edge of one ammonite that spirals around there and wraps around and around to like a nucleus there, where this is a second one. So it's going this way. Maybe. Whereas over here, it's going the opposite. Clockwise, counterclockwise. Maybe gonna bring some energy this way then. Between them along this path. So that would be interesting. Creating dendritic structures like an ammonite due to resistance. Like a current flows, but it runs into resistance, so it starts to bend back and forth and create dendritic structures. Okay, this is interesting that it's erupting from here and like dividing. So it's like coming out and spreading. So that really suggests like it's sourcing from underneath here, which maybe is a flow under here that goes down and then like erupts up. It's not like some other eruption, it's this flow underneath the surface flowing that then basically by the pressures above is caused to go down from more solid materials that are just cooling, that pushes the current down, but then it reaches a point where it's able to like burst up. Maybe something of that nature is going on. And maybe that's going on like everywhere. Look at that current. Oh my god. Still flowing. Don't see anything especially forming here. Maybe. Nothing new. Let's jump ahead again. Really cooled off. Solidifying throughout. Little specks, interesting. Like spots it's breathing. So it's probably flowing more laminarly here, and like here becoming turbulent because it's being driven down around in this region. And here, causing it to wobble, maybe. It's got a top one, a side one, a side one, another one over there, not one down this way. This just looks like a yin-yang, like right there. Maybe relative to this, although it seems it should be the other way. Really solidifying now. Whoa. Oh my god. All the little boulders. It's like a matrix between. It's like a cobble. Not sure if I use that appropriately. Flow going out this way. It's still just pressuring. Possibly by the fact that it's pressuring, it's actually closing the pores between the layer because it's pushing like material that's solidifying because it's close to the surface. So it's just quickly cooling, solidifying, but it's as it solidifies, it gets squished over here around the edges until it creates enough of a shell to hold the upwelling pressure in at most points, except for like the eruption points now. Even though it's still flowing, it's just like creating more of a shell. More of a shell. Also, possibly whatever erupted from a like larger source is did a similar thing where it basically filled a side chamber, and this was the side chamber, and then it kind of stabilized with that. So it's not like infinitely filling, it just filled it enough where it stabilized other pressures and in so doing erupted here. Maybe. Kind of makes sense, honestly. I'd say it makes a lot of sense. Wow, look at that curve wrapping around. And then just this distinct curve here. Maybe a curve there even. Wow. Now we can really see the curves of an ammonite over here. I guess spiraling to there. Whoa. Why did it do that? It's flowing around. Possibly this got closed off and this had to go more this way at some point. It looks like they're like squeezing into this location, flowing this way. Sorry, USGS. What is that? Okay, let's jump ahead a little more. I don't really see this one anymore. It's way more subtle. The big one's more detectable now. This one was looking more noticeable at some point. I guess we can kind of see it wrapping around there. Like this is the center with the boundary here. That at some point comes back over this way. But it's way less noticeable. Hmm. It's got like a flame image. Eruption, kind of like the tip of the inner flame. Whoa, it's just feeding into these spots. We can see the crust like diving in. Over here. Whoa. It's literally like going in a and down and then back up doing something of that nature. Whether or not it comes back up, like it might just go down under and below this now solid layer and just kind of build this layer up more. But it's still going in as well as out. Material, possibly like chunks similar to these even coming out in part. Recycling in the flow that's flowing under, but it's not just like pure liquid, making it all the easier for it to solidify. But probably largely solidifying against the bottom nearby, wherever the pressure's pushing it, like similar to over here, just kind of meandering it along underneath as it just fills the layer, forms a layer more and more and more until the pressure stabilizes. Little smiley face. Like different shapes taking form as this goes. Still going, it's still going. And we're live. Very cool. I don't know what to make of it in totality, but it certainly is relevant to a lot of things, to just observe things of this nature, contemplate what's happening, and try to extrapolate and apply it to other like questions to find answers. All right, till next time. See you guys soon.